Hello students, today we are going to start with class 9 chapter 2 and the chapter name is motion in one dimension. So we are going to first know about the terms of this. What are the required terms which is necessary to understand this particular chapter. So first of all, we are having two physical quantities over here. One is called scalar quantity and the second is called vector quantity. So coming to the first one, which is called scalar quantity. Scalar quantity, these are physical quantity which are expressed only by magnitude. Clear? Means the physical quantity which is only having its magnitude, that is called scalar quantity. And we are having two parameter of this by which we can express scalar quantity completely. The first is that unit in which the quantity is being measured, suppose centimeter, kilometer, kg, whatever, that is the unit in which that is being measured. And second is the numerical value of the measure. If suppose the weight, the mass of any body is 5 kg, then 5 is the numerical value of that. And kg is what? Kg is the unit in which the quantity is being measured. And we are having some examples over here of scalar quantity like mass, length, time, distance, speed, pressure, and many more examples which is having only the magnitude, which don't have any direction. I want to give one example related to this scalar quantity. If suppose we are going for morning walk, you will tell that I have gone 5 kilometer for the walk. So what is that 5 kilometer? 5 kilometer is the magnitude. Clear? So this, by this we can, so that this this is the basic introduction for the scalar quantity. So the second physical quantity is vector quantity. So what is vector quantity? These are the physical quantity which are expressed by magnitude as well as direction. Means in vector quantity we are having both magnitude and direction. For this we are having three parameters. Okay. For this we are having three parameters which are that unit in which the quantity is being measured. It was earlier in that scalar quantity also. Second is numerical value, and the third is the direction. This particular direction was not mentioned in that scalar quantity. This direction only make the difference between scalar and vector quantities. Clear? So the example for that vector quantities are force, displacement, velocity, etc. Many more things are there. I want to give one real life example. If suppose you are living at Sadar Bazaar and you are going to school daily. Okay, if suppose the distance from Sadar Bazaar to your school is 2.5 kilometers, then we can tell that you are going towards school or you are going to school which is 2.5 kilometers from your home. So this is the example. If suppose earlier I said that a man walk or run 5 kilometers. So in that it was not clear that in which direction the man is moving. But if I tell that if a man is moving 5 kilometers towards east, if suppose we are having that direction like this, if we are having direction like this and I tell that a man is moving from this particular point and 5 kilometers towards the east, if this particular direction is, distance is 5 kilometers, then we are having its direction also. What is the direction? Towards east it is moving. And what is the magnitude of this? This is 5 kilometers. So this is the vector quantity. Taking one more example. If suppose we are having one block of mass m, if we are applying force in this particular direction, then we will consider that the force is F. And if suppose we are again in the same object, we are applying the force in this particular direction of same magnitude of force, then what will be the value of this? This will be represented as minus of F. So this is the vector quantity. In this direction, when it was going in this particular direction, or if any more force will be applied in this direction, then it will be represented in positive sign only. When the direction has been changed to opposite direction, okay, then what is happening? This minus sign is representing, the minus sign over here is representing that the direction has been changed. This is the vector quantity. Now coming to rest. So first of all, what is rest? A body is said to be at rest if it does not changes its position with respect to its surrounding or time. Clear? Means we tell that if any object is not in the motion, or if any object is not changing its position, when it will change its position? When it is in motion. So the thing is that the example for this is that a block is kept on a table. If suppose this is the table and this block of mass m is kept on the table, so until and unless we are applying any external force on this particular block, this block will remain same for a long time. Okay, until and unless we are applying any force. So this is the rest position of that. The block will always remain at rest until and unless any force is applied on this. The second case is if we take that a stone lying on a ground. So if any stone is lying on the ground, what is happening? If we apply any external force on that, if we kick that stone, little stone, or if we pull or throw that particular stone, then only it will change its position. So what is the thing? The body remains at the same position with respect to its surrounding. That is called rest. So motion. What is motion? A body is said to be at motion if it changes its position with respect to its surrounding or time. Means if any object is moving with respect to its surrounding or time, what we tell that the object is in motion. The example for that we can consider a moving bus. When the bus is moving, what is happening? Its surrounding, immediate surrounding is changing all the time. So we can tell that the bus is in the motion. Running boy, when a boy is running, okay, not in a treadmill, when a boy is running on the road or anywhere on the ground, then what is happening? Its surrounding is changing. Okay. Now if we consider example, if suppose I am dropping this pen from here, then what will happen? This pen will go down. So when this pen will start moving, when this pen will be left from this position, then pen will start moving down. That is the motion. So see that. So the pen moved down. So what is this? Whenever any object changes its position with respect to time or surrounding, we tell that it is a motion. So now coming to distance. So first of all, what is distance? The total length of path through which a body moves. That is called distance. And we can tell that the distance traveled by a body depends upon the path followed by it. Which path the body is following, that is called the distance. And we can the next point is that distance is a scalar quantity. SI unit of distance is meter. So I am giving one example. What is for that distance? So if suppose we are having one point over here and one point over here, let this point be A and this point be B. If suppose the object is moving in this particular way, then what will be the distance? Distance will be that the total path followed, along which path the body is moving. We have to consider that path. We don't have to take any other path, because to reach from one point to another point we are having infinite number of paths. So along which path the body is moved, that is called the distance. And for the measurement of distance, if suppose A is the point over here and B is the point over here, and if the body is moving in a straight path, clear, body is moving in a straight path from this point to this, clear, then if suppose the distance between these two, AB equals to x meter or whatever, let it, we are taking that x meter over here. If suppose the body is going from A to B, then it travel a distance of x meter. And if suppose the body is traveling to A to B and again from B to A, again this body is coming back to point A, then again it is traveling x meter. So the total distance from A to B and B to A, it will be 2x, means it will be added up. This is the distance over here. Now coming to displacement. What is displacement? The definition for that, we write that the shortest distance from the initial to the final position of a body is called displacement. We can displacement is a vector quantity. SI unit of it, displacement is meter. So first of all, see that what is displacement. As I earlier said, A and B are the 2 points. Then the shortest distance means we have to go in the shortest path. Whatever is the shortest path, that will be the displacement. So this is called the displacement. Displacement is always taken in the shortest form. We don't have to write that, means to reach from point A to point B is that infinite number of paths are there, but we have to consider the shortest distance. That is called the displacement. and in distance what it was happening, we were moving, we can move it like this also. So this is the displacement, the curved line which is reaching from point A to point B, that is the distance, and the shortest line, the straight line, this particular line, this is the displacement over here. So I am drawing one point, means showing from the example. If suppose these are the 2 points, and from this particular C to D anybody have to reach, then he can follow infinite number of paths like this also. It can move in order to reach from C to D. He can move in this particular path also. But the thing is over here that this is means whatever is the path followed, or which path this is following to reach from C to D, that is called the distance over here. But if we are taking the shortest path to reach to the point C to D, this is called the displacement. The shortest part is always considered as a distance. I am telling one condition that where the displacement is being 0 or means having some magnitude or not. So if suppose we are going from point A to point B, when we are going from point A to B, if suppose the distance between AB is x meter, clear? So when the object is moving from A to B in a straight line, we are considering that motion in one dimension, means only in a straight linear path we are taking. So A to B, then if suppose the object is traveling the x meter, so from B to A, if anyone goes from point A to point B and again from B to A it returns, then we tell that when the object is going A to B and then B to A, here the displacement equals to 0. Earlier when it was going from A to B, it was displacement was x meter, but when the object is going from A to B and then from B to A, it is returning to the same position, then we tell that the displacement over here is 0. If suppose in the same path object moves towards this direction and it stops at point C, okay, then we will consider this particular displacement that AC. If suppose this is the y, means the magnitude of the distance is the y, then here that when it is going from A to B, then B to C, here that displacement equals to minus of y, clear? So this is the displacement over here. So you have to, what you have to do, you have to note all these things, whatever I taught over here, and note in your copy, and see that whatever is your doubt in this particular topic, you can ask me later on. Okay, thank you.